All right, guys, let's talk. I'm back. Match week 7 reaction, roundup, review, whatever you want to call it. But yeah, I just finished watching the Brighton Spurs match, and I predicted a 3-2 win for Spurs. It ended up being a 3-2 win for Brighton, coming back from being 2-0 down. Very Spursy, man. Very, very Spursy, I had to say. You know what I mean? And since that game just finished, let's actually talk about that. So I could have done a video yesterday talking about the Arsenal, the City game, and the Liverpool match, but I said, you know what, man? Let me wait until today and just do one video. And it won't be, nothing too in-depth, man, because I haven't wrote down any kind of notes, you know what I mean? I'm going to just go off the top, go from, what I got from the game. And that's basically a reaction. You see what I'm saying? I'm not analyzing, I'm not deep diving, I'm not doing anything like that, you know what I mean? So you need a live stream for things like that. But guys, let's talk, man. Brighton 3, Spurs 2. Brennan Johnson in the 23rd minute, James Maddison in the 37th. They just sliced Brighton apart, and Brighton just looked really out of sorts in that first half. And being that Spurs coming off of back-to-back wins in the last few days, convincing win against United, and they went to Hungary to play Frank Varos and won as well. It's like, wow, Brighton didn't play any game in the middle of the week, and Spurs are like dominating. So it was a very good first half by Spurs, but it was a game of two halves. Brighton came back, they knew what they needed to do. They were already losing the game, and it was only one motive: score goals, get back into the match. And when they got themselves back in a really good position, they went on to win the game. So Minte in the 48th minute, Rutter in the 58th, and Welbeck in the 66th. And Spurs are really toothless in the second half, man. They were very, very poor in the second half. And it's crazy. It's crazy that they had such a great advantage and just went into their shells and didn't like build on that advantage. And it's like, it makes you wonder, like, is this a better Spurs team than the Spurs team that we saw last season? Or is it just the same team? Or is it just the same Spurs that we've come to know over the years? They look good one week, the next week, you're like, what the heck is going on here? You see what I'm saying? And don't get me wrong, Brighton, they're a similar team, They're very unpredictable. But listen, a lot of expectations are not placed on Brighton. It's not the same type of expectation that are on Spurs, because Brighton, they came up from the championship. They came through the league system, and they played, I think, 8 seasons in the Premier League. I remember first covering Brighton under Steve Houghton. Is that his name, Steve Houghton? Chris Houghton. I'm like, Steve Houghton. I knew something was wrong. Chris Houghton, man, and look at what they are today. You got to give it up to Brighton, man. Seriously. Wow. And you know who's been there throughout the whole time? Lewis Dunk. It's crazy, man. Give it up to Lewis Dunk, because I was actually thinking about a player that has been there the entire time. And I was like, oh, who is it? I was thinking Pascal Gross, but he left, went to Dortmund. Lewis Dunk. Danny Welbeck's been there for a while as well. If I check the bench, it's about it. It's a lot of, new faces over the years, but they've sold on a lot of players, and they've recruited very, very well. And it's just insane, man, to see, what they did in that game, to just come from behind to go on to win the match. Not just pick up a point, win the match. And the fact that Minte and Georgina Rutter got on the score sheet, that will do a lot of good for their confidence. And Danny Welbeck still putting them in for fun. Amazing. Look, the way Ange Postecoglou stood in the middle of the field there and just, stared into the nothingness. It just sums up how he felt about Spurs' performance on the day. But no need to panic. It's still early times. But as I said, a lot of expectations are placed on Tottenham. So when you drop points from great positions like this, then, it calls for some reflection. So Spurs are ninth, 10 points. They do have three laws. They have suffered 3 losses this season already, and they have 3 wins. So very inconsistent, man. As for Brighton, they're 6th, 12 points, 3 wins, 3 draws, and only a single loss. So you got to give it up to Brighton, man. They've looked really good, and they've been playing some good football. A little inconsistent at times, but that's what we come to know of Brighton. So we're going to keep it moving. Let's just finish off the games that were played today, and then we talk about the games from yesterday. Chelsea won, Forest won. Forest going down to 10 men in the 78th minute when James Ward-Prowse got sent off for, hugging the ball when he slipped and fell. Just natural instincts, man, stopping Nicholas Jackson from getting in behind. But you got to give it up to Forest here, man. They definitely, and I mean definitely, kept Chelsea quiet. Chris Wood in the 49th and Madueke with an equalizer in the 57th to earn Chelsea a point. But Forest with a late surge there with 10 men almost won it. And if it wasn't for some great saves by Robert Sanchez, Forest would have gone on to take all 3 points here, man. That's the beauty about the Premier League. Very unpredictable. Only 33% of the ball for Forest, but 16 shots, 9 on target. It was a very cagey affair. It was a scuffle at the end there. There was a lot of things. I can't get into everything, obviously, because I'm doing 10 games, but it was a very, very entertaining game of football. 22 shots on goal for Chelsea, 8 on target, 67% of the ball. When you look back at these stats, they would feel like they should have gone on to win it. I remember when they had the, end-to-end stuff when Forest almost scored, Sanchez saved, they went down the other end, and Nkunku header, Matt Sells with a couple saves. It was a really good game of football, man, so well played Forest. As for Chelsea, they did play in the middle of the week. They have been very good this season. But games like this, they got to win. They definitely got to win. When you come up against teams like Forest, you got to take all 3 points if you want to at least, compete with the teams above you, like the Man Cities, the Liverpools, the Cities, the Arsenals, pardon me, and the Aston Villas that are doing really, really well so far. So not to linger too much, today wasn't a day for Cole Power Magic. He was kept quite subdued, and Nicholas Jackson as well. But the substitutes did come on and they did look good, adding some impetus to Chelsea there. So, guys, we're going to keep it moving, of course, in terms of the standing for Chelsea. They're 4th, 14 points. Great start, 4 wins, 2 draws, and a loss. And for Forest, they have only lost once this season, and that loss came against Fulham when Morgan Gibbs-White was absent and Nuno was not on the touchline. So they do have 10 points. Not a whole lot of points, 2 wins, 4 draws, but still a great start. They would look to continue, to build on this and, survive yet another season in the Premier League. I was watching Forest and I'm like, they're just building, man. You know what I'm saying? They're just building. They're not overly attacking. They have some quality players in their team, and they have some hard-working players as well, in their defense. So Forest is going to be all right. They're definitely going to be all right. As for Chelsea, if they continue to play the way they're playing, they will definitely be competing for Champions League football at the end of the season. So, yeah. We're going to keep it moving, though. This is the last match week before the international break, so, yeah. Aston Villa 0, Manchester United 0. To be honest, I was watching both the games at the same time, so I'm pretty sure I missed a lot of things. I was even, falling asleep some periods of the game, but, it's a positive result for United because they've been losing, they've been drawing against teams that they should win, and when Ten Hag, you know, is under pressure like right now, I think to pick up a point against a team like Aston Villa, who's been on absolute fire, is a great result. I know Manchester United should be winning these games, you know, but you're not going to base everything on history. But Manchester United should be winning these games, and they're not. So, what more could I say? The guy distracted me there. I'm like, geez, what the hell? He just crept up on me there. But yeah, they should definitely be winning these games, man. In the grand scheme of things, a good result, but they should be winning. I keep reiterating that they should be winning. They actually started Maguire and Evans in defense, and when I saw that, I was like, they're surely going to lose the match today. But surprisingly, they got a point. Villa wasn't as sharp as they usually are. 11 shots, only 1 on target. 55% of the ball. United 10 shots, 4 on target. 45% of the ball. Bruno Fernandes did hit the crossbar with a free kick. You know, and Rashford had a couple shots. You know, Garnacho, you know, had a couple running behind. But overall, it's like, I don't know, man. Man United, they're supposed to be progressing with the players that they signed and the changes that they've made. But I don't know, man. I really don't know. Mainu and Eriksen in the center of the field there, and you have Ugarte, Casemiro on the bench. These guys should have been at, you know, playing better than they are. Not Ugarte for, you know, let's not put too much pressure on Ugarte. He's new, but Casemiro, he should have been bossing that midfield, man. You know what I mean? Eriksen should have been in a more advanced position. So he should have been, you know. And you have Mainu. I don't get me wrong, Mainu's playing well. He's playing some good football. He's a youngster and everything. But with the players that Man United have, they should be performing a whole lot better than this. But it's a good point. It's a good point. Coming up against Villa, who was a bit off the pace on the day. You know what I mean? No Jean Duran magic on the day. Konza picked up an injury. You know, Diego Carlos came in. He looked good. You know what I mean? Morgan Rogers had a few opportunities. He didn't put them away. Even Jaden Philogene had one of the best chances. Smashed it into the United player. Leon Bailey was a bit, Ollie Watkins a bit on the day. So, a good point for both teams. Let's just put it that way. A good point for both teams. But it's a better point for United. That point would feel like a W for United, seeing that they've been struggling so much as of late. So, in terms of the table, in terms of the standings, Villa 5th, 14 points after 7 matches, only 1 loss, 2 draws, and 4 wins so far this season. And as for Manchester United, they're 14th. That is pathetic, man. That is seriously pathetic. 7 matches, United are 14th. They have a lot of catching up to do. They have a lot of work to do in order to rub shoulders with the Arsenals, the Cities, and the Liverpools, and even the Aston Villas, and the Chelseas. So, yeah, 3 losses already, 2 draws, not good enough in 7 games. That is poor. That is poor. 8 points. Not quite relegation form, but if they don't pick up some pace, you could start saying that. So that's 3 matches done. The 3 matches that were played today. I don't think I'm doing very well in terms of the time I'm taking to talk about these games. Taking a little longer than usual. But yeah. So in terms of the games that I did not watch, let's talk about those. I'm going to run through those a little faster. So Everton, Newcastle. I was watching that game. Here, peace. 0-0. Great result for Everton. I think Newcastle should have gone on to win the game. Anthony Gordon had his penalty saved by Pickford, but you got to give Pickford a lot of credit for doing that. And I think with the absence of Alexander Isak, Newcastle kind of struggling with the lack of that focal point, you know, up top, and let Gordon do his thing over on the wings. You know, so a good point for Everton, man. You know, no need to elaborate too much. 8 shots, 2 on target for Everton. They only had 32% of the ball. 14 shots, 3 on target for Newcastle. 68% of the ball. Still a quality result away from home. You know, I don't think Eddie Howe does well against Everton at all. But Everton are, you know, they're picking up the points after 2 horrific losses. After being 2-0 up, they've responded with some quality results. 2 draws and a win to pick up some points and get themselves away from that relegation zone. So right now, Everton are 16th. They do have 5 points. Not bad. Not bad at all. Judging from the way they were performing at the very start of the season. And as for Newcastle, they're 7th. Still only 1 loss this season. They do have 12 points. A quality start despite some off-the-field issues. So, 0-0. I definitely predicted a draw for that one too, guys. So far, the 4 games that I predicted, well, I predicted Spurs to beat Brighton, but you know what happened. I predicted a Chelsea-Forest win. You know what happened. It's a draw. So, those last 3 that I talked about, didn't get any of those right. But in terms of the Everton-Newcastle, I did get the result right and not the scoreline. So, you know, a game I predicted right, Leicester City to beat Bournemouth. And my prediction was 2-1. It ended in a 0-0. Fakunde Buonanate, I think he's on loan from Brighton, scored in the 16th minute. Very good individual goal. Bournemouth failed to reply. Leicester, under Steve Cooper, picked up their first win this season after being promoted from the championship. So not going to elaborate too much on this game. I didn't watch it, just watch the highlights. So don't really have anything much more to add. So in terms of where they are in the league table, Leicester 15th, 6 points after 7 matches. And for Bournemouth, they dropped to 13th. They have 8 points, 2 wins, 2 draws, and 3 losses. So we are going to keep it moving, man, as promised. So the next game I didn't watch, Brentford Wolves. Jesus Christ, man, an 8-goal thriller. And I did predict the Brentford win. I predicted a 2-1 win for Brentford over Wolves. But goddamn, it ended in a 5-3 thriller, man. Nathan Collins, I did bet on him to score as well in this game. I'll be just putting in some weird bets, you know, this player to score first, this player to score anytime. I'm just having fun with the betting thing on DraftKings. If you want to sign up for DraftKings, guys, use my link down below. You know, if you want to dibble and dabble when it comes to betting. But bet responsibly if you do so, though. So after Collins scored in the 2nd minute, Matheus Cunha equalized in the 4th minute. Then Mbuemo from the penalty spot in the 20th. Then Strand Larsen equalized in the 26th. You know, that'll do his confidence a lot of good. And then it was all the Brentford show after that. Christian Norgard played in behind. Ethan Pinnock thumping header to make it 4-2 at the end of the first half. And then Fabio Carvalho off the bench to tap one in. And then Riot 8 Nori to beat the goalkeeper at his near post. So pretty good stuff there by Brentford. They would want to work on their defense, of course, not conceding so many goals, but at least they put 5 past Wolves. And day 2, I think Wolves have like the worst defense in the league. They've just been horrible, man. I know they're dealing with injuries and all of that, but Wolves have just been horrible this season. I think Wolves are going down though. And Gary O'Neill's days. So guys, as I was saying before I ran out of storage there, Gary O'Neill's days as Wolves' manager definitely numbered, man. I won't be surprised if he gets sacked in maybe after this international break, if the results don't change and he start winning matches. I won't be surprised at all. So, but it was a thrilling game though. 17 shots, 6 on target for Wolves. 56% of the ball, 19 shots, 12 on target for Brentford, 44% of the ball. What a game. What a game. For those of you guys who watched that game, it must have been a thrilling encounter. So Brentford are 11th, 10 points. Really good start to the season. And for Wolves, they're bottom of the table 6 losses, 1 point with 1 draw, and they level on points with Southampton. Not very good. Those teams look poised to be relegated. All the best, Wolves. It's been a good run in the Premier League. It's been a good run. They'll need to work some magic in order to survive. So, and it's been a long time coming though. You know, last season it was kind of shaky. They need to fix things, definitely. So we're gonna keep it moving, guys. West Ham 4, Ipswich Town 1. I went for Ipswich to draw 2-2, but the Hammers picked up a well-needed win after a very lackluster start to the season. But this should do their confidence a whole lot of good. Mikel Antonio in the first minute, then Liam Delap equalized in the 6th minute with his right foot, and he's chalking up them Premier League goals. So give it up to Liam Delap. If Ipswich gets relegated, best believe and someone's gonna pick up Liam Delap, you know, for good money. Quality striker, man. I thought he would have been you know, a Man City player, but I guess Pep didn't, you know, see it that way. But imagine Liam Delap being a foil for Erling Haaland right now at Manchester City. Who knows? That could still be a possibility in the future. So, yeah, Mohamed Kudus with a well-needed goal in the 44th minute, a header from close range after a rebound. Jared Bowen, well-needed goal in the 49th, and Lucas Paqueta also with a well-needed. All 4 players that scored for West Ham needed that goal badly. 4-1 for Lopetegui and his boys. Convincing win over Ipswich Town. Just the way they should. They should be beating Ipswich. So with that win for the Hammers, they're 12th, 8 points, 2 wins, 2 draws. Not a terrible start at all. Not a terrible. It's a better start than Manchester United. So give it up to the Hammers though. So they're higher in the table with better goal difference than Manchester United. Both have a negative goal difference, but West Ham do have a better one. So yeah, as for Ipswich, they're just outside the relegation zone. 4 points in 7 matches, yet to pick up a win this season. But on a positive note, they do have 4 draws. So all the best, all the best. I do think they're gonna go back down, but it's left to be seen though. Who knows? Who knows what they could achieve by May. So I think I touched on most of the games, and I have the 3 big ones left. Let me just double check. Well, the big boys, man. You know, Liverpool, Arsenal, Manchester City. Let me see. Yep. So only 3 more matches to touch on, man. Let's talk about Arsenal 3, Southampton 1. And I have to say, despite all 3 teams winning their games, it wasn't a walk in the park for any of them. It was very, very tight, man. Very, very tight. All 3 games were tight. And Arsenal, despite scoring 3 goals to Southampton's 1, it was a come-from-behind win. So Southampton in the 55th minute there, Cameron Archer, Kai Havertz 3 minutes later equalized. Good goal by Havertz. And I have to say, you know, I criticize him as a Chelsea player. I think he really flopped at Chelsea, despite winning the Champions League, scoring a goal in the Champions League final day against Man City. Never forget that one. Heartbreaking. Oh, man, heartbreaking. City should have 2 Champions League titles under their belts, man. Gifted that one to Chelsea. Gabriel Martinelli in the 68th, very good goal at the near post, man. God damn. And Saka, you know, with a very fortunate goal there in the 88th minute to put the nail in Southampton's coffin. You know, when you're not winning and you're getting winning positions, it's very hard to keep. The game management was poor. I don't know if the elation got the better of Southampton, but after they scored, it was like they just went, I don't know, man. Arsenal was all over them. Or maybe it was a wake-up call for Arsenal and they went into a next game and they said, whoa, can't be dropping no points here. And they You know, came out champions though. And it just shows the transformation of this Arsenal team. I'm not going to say Arsenal under Arteta, because Arteta's been Arsenal's manager for quite a few seasons. But the last 3 seasons, man, god damn, it's like they're getting better every year. You see what I'm saying? They're closing the gap on Manchester City, man. Is this Arsenal's year to win the title? As I said for the last few seasons, I'm still not convinced. I don't think they're gonna do it. I don't think they're gonna. I see chinks in this Arsenal's team, man. I see chinks, despite them having the best defense statistically in the league. I still see this team faltering. I still see them faltering. Thomas Partey played at right back. Go and try that against one of the better opponents. You see what I mean? So, who knows? Who knows, man? Who knows how Arsenal are going to manage a Champions League workload, a cup workload? Who knows how well they're going to manage that? But nevertheless, a good come from behind win for Arteta and his boys. So, you know, I think I've said enough, man. With that being said, Arsenal are third, 17 points. What if they remain third at the end of the season? You see? But it's a great start. No losses. So Arsenal and Man City remain the only 2 teams that are yet to lose a match this season. Give it up to these teams, man. Give it up to these teams. You know? But Arsenal's still doing very, very well. Liverpool, however, do have the best defense with only 2 goals conceded. Arsenal, they have conceded 6 goals. City with 8. Newcastle with 7, you know, Forest with 6. These teams have very, very good defensive record so far. So Arsenal, they would need to maybe improve on their defensive record, you know, if they are to go on to win this title. City being the most attacking team in the league with 17 goals. So, yeah. So, yeah, man, for Southampton, guys, they're 19th, only 1 point, 6 losses. And Russell Martin's days as Southampton's manager, I have to say, definitely numbered. You're not going to continue with this manager if he just keep losing, unless they want to. You see? So 2 more matches. The next game, Manchester City 3, Fulham 2. Closer than I like. I actually predicted Arsenal to win 3-0 against Southampton, City to beat Fulham 3-1. So I did predict them to score. Did predict Man City to score 3 goals, but I didn't expect Fulham to be this good. And I'm going to go as far as to say this. Fulham should have won the game. Adama Traore had a hat-trick of chances. Edison saved 2 of those chances, one-on-one situations. Adama kicking the ball straight to the goalkeeper, and a brilliant opportunity hit over the crossbar. Adama Traore can't finish to save his life. You see what I'm saying? Look, don't get me wrong, he does score an odd goal here and there, but 2 out of 10, you see, that's not good enough for an attacker. So Kovacic, well, Pereira did score in the 26th minute. Brilliant backheel set up by Raul Jimenez, and very good close range goal there by Andreas Pereira. It shook me. I was like, whoa, not again. Why we keep conceding the first goals? But Mateo Kovacic in the 32nd, and Kovacic again in the 47th. Doku off the bench to score. Won the goal in the 82nd. And that was 3-1 at the time. And Rodrigo Muniz came off the bench to score a brilliant snapshot there in the 88th. Close finish. Edison coming up big. 3-2 to City. Not good enough. Not good enough by City. Too close to comfort, man. But also, you got to give Man City credit for coming from behind, winning the game, managing the game well to go on to hold on to those 3 points. But still, man, still, you know. But don't get me wrong. There was some rotation. Grealish and Bernardo came back in from the Champions League game. You know, Savino and Duku dropped to the bench. Gundogan Foden, Kovacic in the middle. You know what I mean? Rico Lewis in defense. Edison back in the team, having not played a Champions League game. So it's a lot of rotation, and you have to do that to keep the players fresh. City, this is not City's strongest team. No De Bruyne, no Rodri. You see what I'm saying? Kyle Walker not even starting games these days. I don't know what's going on with that. Maybe Pep's just looking towards the future, you know, transitioning Rico Lewis into that Kyle Walker role, which is a smart thing to do. I foresee this being Kyle Walker's last season at City too. You know, and he's going to start playing like a more, you know, take a step back off the bench, starting here, starting there, you know what I mean? But yeah, pretty much though, pretty much. But a win is a win. A win is a win. I'm not going to complain too much about a win. A win is a win, but I got to give a lot of credit to Fulham. They should have won the game. They played well enough to win the game, and Marco Silva deserves a lot of credit for what he's doing with this team. But special shout-outs goes to Kovacic, man. He was not really known as a goal scorer at Real Madrid nor at Chelsea. He used to score the odd spectacular goal at Chelsea, but as a City player, man, he's scoring goals. He's scoring goals, man. And I gotta give it up to Kovacic. Definitely gotta give it up to Kovacic. How many goals does Kovacic has this season already? Gotta be at least 3. Yeah, I think it's about 3. I'm not 100% sure, but it gotta be at least 3. Let me just check it out really quick and see something. Gotta be at least 3. Let me see. Yeah, 3 goals. 3 goals. That is crazy. In 7 games, 3 goals. So Kovacic is predicted to hit double figures this season. You know, playing that Rodri role quite well. So with that being said, guys, Man City is second in the league, behind Liverpool, and that's 17 points, only 1 point behind Liverpool. No losses, 2 draws, 5 wins. Not bad. Not bad. Not a bad start to the season. I think the team should be satisfied with where they're at. And Man City, they're not a team that really, you know, are always like on top of the table all season. Might be 3rd, 4th, you know, by Christmas, and then come back and win the title. You know what I'm saying? But with Fulham, they're 8th in the league, 11 points, great start. You know, I think they're going to survive again, of course, with the quality they have in their team. And they just have to continue to build on this momentum. And with that being said, guys, the last game of the day, Liverpool versus Crystal Palace. Liverpool winning the game 1-0. That was the first match played this weekend. An away win to Crystal Palace. Diego Jota in the 9th minute. And I have to say, Palace could have walked away with something, man. Palace could have definitely walked away with something, at least a draw here. But they just did not take their chances at all. And I think Trevor Chalobah was quite flat-footed for this Jota goal. Ball played in, the square played in, and you know, he just allowed Jota to run in front of him and stuck out his foot and score. I think Trevor Chalobah could have done a lot better than that. You see, to throw off Jota at least. Don't get me wrong, Liverpool had their chances. They had 16 shots, 4 on target, 69% of the ball. But Crystal Palace created some really good chances, especially in the second half when they were looking for that equalizing goal. You know, and they should have got one. They really should have scored one. Eze had a few chances, hit straight to the goalkeeper. You know, Nketiah had a goal that was disallowed. What if that had gone in, you know what I mean? And there's a few other situations I can't recall right now. But, yeah, Alisson picked up another injury. Young goalkeeper Jaros came in. I think he's Hungarian. He came in and he did a fairly good job for his little cameo. Because that, you know, that was a time where Crystal Palace could have exploited that that chink in Liverpool's defense right there and come in and score a goal. But Yaros came in and performed admirably for I think that's his first Liverpool minutes, if I'm not mistaken. Liverpool fans, correct me if I'm wrong, but I think Kelleher wasn't even available for this game. So if Kelleher is, I'm not too sure if, let me see. Kelleher, I'm not too sure what's going on with Kelleher. I'm not too sure. But Alisson might be out for a while. Not too sure what the prognosis is for him as well. But yeah. I know I'm looking at the injury list here. Sikia says injured. What is going on there? I didn't even realize he was injured. Harvey Elliott, I know, is injured. He'll be back soon. And he'll definitely be one to watch off the bench for Liverpool. But I think Gakpo had a solid game. And maybe all this is, the fact that Liverpool did not look like themselves too much in terms of winning the game convincingly is because of the rotation. Tsimikas at left back. Gakpo came in. Curtis Jones came in. Salah was kept quite subdued in this match as well. So, all in all, I don't think Crystal Palace should be kicking themselves too much. It was a valiant effort, but valiant ain't going to get you points. You got to pick up the points, and you got to put away your chances when the chances present themselves, and they surely didn't. You see? They really didn't. Players need to step up for Crystal Palace, or else they're in trouble of going down. Definitely in trouble of getting relegated. But another win for Liverpool. That'll be a positive for Slot. And I think Slot broke a record too, Let me check the notes here to see. Yep. Arne Slot is the first Liverpool manager to win as many as 9 of his first 10 games in charge of the club, losing once, while Liverpool have done so to begin a season for the third time after 1961-62 and 1990-91. So what a start. What a start. All roads are leading to Liverpool winning the title. Guys, what do you think? You think Slot and Liverpool got enough? They're going to do enough to keep off Manchester City and Arsenal and go on to lift their second Premier League title? Let me know. Liverpool have won each of their first 4 away league games to begin a season for just the third time, after doing so in 1990-91 and under Jurgen Klopp in 1920. And I think 1920, the season Liverpool did go on to win the title. Did Liverpool win the title in 1990-91? I don't think so. Let me see something. 1990-91 Premier League. Was it the Premier League then? Or was it the old first? Yeah, it was the old first division. And the team that won the title was Arsenal. So Arsenal won the title that year. Liverpool came in second. Crystal Palace came in third. Wow. Crystal Palace came in third. Leeds fourth. Manchester City came in fifth. And United came in sixth that year. Forest eighth. Wimbledon seventh. Everton ninth. Spurs 10th. Wow. Anyways, I'm not going to take you so far down memory lane. I wasn't even watching Premier League football then. I was 4 years old in the Caribbean, you know what I mean, being a bad little kid. So, yeah, guys, that's pretty much it. That's a wrap. Liverpool top of the table. As for Crystal Palace, I think they are 18th in the relegation zone. They need to get out of there. They only have 3 points this season from 3 draws. No wins yet. So, Oliver Gashton and his men got to do a lot better if they are to get out of the relegation zone and, you know, stay up in the Premier League. But, you know, Palace, they're going to probably finish 13th. Guaranteed. But, guys, I'm your boy Dom. Thanks for tuning in to yet another one. I know it wasn't so energetic. I'm coming off of work, man. I've been up since 4 a.m. this morning. I was really tired. And yeah, I'm just tired. I'm just tired, guys. It ain't easy, man. It ain't easy to watch so many games, come back, talk about them. It's rough. It's rough out here being a content creator. Trust me. So smash up the thumbs up button. Subscribe if you're new. Let me know your thoughts down below. Let me know if there's any major talking points that I missed down below. And until my next one, peace out. Rich Squad. Talk to you soon.